Hello students, let us learn General Science for Class 8 from the book Science Square. Today we are going to learn the chapter Some Natural Phenomena. In this chapter we shall discuss about lightning, types of charges, transfer of charges, lightning safety, earthquakes, causes and protection. Electrically neutral state of matter. Most of the substances are electrically neutral state. According to the atomic structure, an atom is made up of electrons, protons and neutrons. An electron has a negative charge, a proton has a positive charge, and no charge is on the neutron. In an atom, the number of electrons is equal to the number of protons. The equal number of these positive and the negative charges balance each other, and hence most of the matters are electrically neutral. Charging by rubbing. When two objects are rubbed with each other, electrons may get transferred from one object to the another. If an object loses some electron, it becomes positively charged. If the object which gains the electrons becomes negatively charged. The transfer of charges is possible for static electricity in various objects. Static electricity is the main reason of lightning. Examples. When a plastic comb is rubbed with a dry hair, it acquires a small charge. So, it attracts the small pieces of papers. When a plastic refill is rubbed with a polythene, it acquires a small electric charge. It also attracts small pieces of papers. When we rub a plastic scale on your dry hair, the scale can attract very small pieces of paper. Types of charges and their interactions. Let us perform an activity to understand the types of charges and their interactions. Take two inflated balloons. Hang them in such a way that they do not touch each other. Rub both the balloons with a wooden cloth and release them. Repeat this activity with the used pen refills. Rub one refill with a polythene and place it carefully in a glass tumbler and the other refill with the polythene. Bring it close to the charged refill. We should not touch the charged end with your hand. What would you observe? You can see that both the balloons repel each other in the first part of the experiment. When using with the pen refills, you can see the charged refill will repel each other with the other charged refill. What conclusion would you come for this? The charges of the same kind repel each other. Like charges repel each other. Let us now take a rubber refill and place it gently in a glass tumbler. Now bring an inflated charged balloon which is rubbed with a woolen cloth near the refill. What would you think would happen? The charged balloon attracts the refill. This is because different charges attract each other. There are two types of charges. One is positive, another is negative. Same charges repel each other while different charges attract each other. Let us now discuss how charges can be transferred by electroscope. Take an empty jam bottle and a piece of cardboard bigger in size than the mouth of the bottle. Make a hole in the cardboard so that we can insert a metal paper clip. Open out paper clip. Now we cut two strips of aluminum foils. Hang them on the paper clip as shown in the figure. We insert the paper clip in the cardboard lid perpendicularly. Charge a refill by rubbing with polythene and touch it with the end of the paper clip. What would you observe is that they repel each other. Now, touch other charged bodies with the end of the paper clip. The foil strips behave in the same way in all cases. The aluminum foil receives the same kind of charge from the charged refill and hence begin to repel each other and becomes wide open. This device, which helps to transfer the charge, is known as electroscope. Earthing. Electrical charge can be transferred from a charged object to another through a metal conductor. When we touch the end of the paperclip gently with a hand, we will find that the foil strips of the electroscope come back to their original state. We repeat the charging of foil strips and touching the paperclip. When we touch the paperclip with the hand, the foil strips will meet each other. This is because foil strips lose charges to the earth through our body. The process of transferring of charge from a charged object to the earth is known as earthing. Earthing is provided in the buildings to protect us from electrical shocks due to any leakage of electrical current. Lightning. Lightning is a bright streak of light during a thunderstorm with the sound of thunder. The transfer of charge from clouds to clouds or from clouds to the earth, we call it as a lightning. We can also say that lightning is an electrical spark which takes place in the sky due to the vigorous movement of the air currents in the upward directions and the water droplets towards the downward direction. Dangers of lightning. Lightning can damage houses, buildings, and trees. It can even kill the human life, property, and animals. What is the story of lightning? During formation of thunderstorm, the air current move upwards and the water droplets begin to move downwards. Due to these rigorous movements, results in the separation of charges in the clouds. From these charges, the positive charge gets accumulated at the near upper end of the clouds. The negative charges get accumulated at the lower edges of the clouds. There is accumulation of positive charges near the ground also. When accumulation of the charges become very heavy, air, which is a bad conductor of electricity, becomes no longer able to resist their flow. As a result, the electric charges gets transferred to the ground. It produces streaks of bright light and sound across the sky. This is known as an electric discharge. This is the story of lightning. Lightning safety. During lightning and the thunderstorm, should not be in an open place. A house or a building is a safe place. First sound of thunder is an alert to rush to a safer place. After hearing the last thunder, we should wait for some time before coming out of the same place. What are the do's and the don'ts during a thunderstorm? When you are outside the home, open vehicles like motorbikes, tractors, construction machinery, and open cars are not safe. In open fields, tall trees, shelters in parks, elevated places do not protect us from the lightning strikes. We should take shelter under the shorter trees. Carrying umbrella is not a good idea because of the metallic handle. Stay away from the poles or other metallic objects. If you happen to find a place in the open area, do not lie on the ground. Instead, place your hands on the knees with your head between the hands. This position will make you the smallest target to strike. What we should do and do not when we are inside the house. Lightning can strike telephone cords, electrical wires, and metal pipes. So, during the thunderstorm, we should not have any contacts with these. Bathing should be avoided during thunderstorms to avoid contact with the running water. Electrical appliances like computers, TVs, etc. should be unplugged. Lightning conductor. This is a device which protects a building from a lightning damage. It is composed of a vertical metallic rod which is taller than the building. It is installed in the walls of the building. The base of the metallic rod is attached to a thick metallic rod which goes deep inside the earth. When lightning strikes, the electrical charge goes to the lightning conductor and reaches the earth. The vertical metallic rod provides easy route for the transfer of charges to the ground. Earthquakes. This is a natural phenomenon. Sudden shaking or trembling of the earth which lasts for few short periods. We call it as an earthquake. It is caused by the disturbance produced deep inside the earth's crust. The earth's crust is made up of several pieces of landmass. We call these as the tectonic plates. These plates are always in the continuous motion. When they brush past one another or a plate goes under another, it forms a collision. It collides. They, when they collide, they cause a vibration in the earth's crust. These vibration causes earthquake on the surface of the earth. The boundaries of the tectonic plates where earthquakes takes place more likely are known as weak zones, seismic zones, or fault zones. The main high-risk places are Kashmir, Rann of Kutch, Rajasthan, western and the central Himalayas, whole of the northeast, and Indo-Gangetic plains. There are some South Indian areas also which falls under seismic zone. Sysmograph. It is a device which records the seismic waves produced by the tremors, composed of an oscillator, a vibrating rod, or a pendulum. It has writing device and a roll of paper. The writing device is attached to an oscillator. In the case of an earthquake, the oscillator begins to vibrate and the writing device starts plotting wave-like patterns on the paper. The wave-like pattern is then analyzed by the scientists to construct a complete map of the earthquake. The power of the earthquake is expressed in terms of magnitude on a scale called Richter scale. It was developed in 1935 by Charles Richter and Benno Gutenberg of California Institute of Technology. This shows the intensity of an earthquake, which is measured on a logarithmic scale of 0 to 10. Richter scale is not linear. On Richter scale, the increase of 2 in magnitude means 1000 times more destructive energy. What is the effect of the earthquakes? It causes immense damage to buildings, bridges, dams, and the people. It can even cause floods, landslides, and tsunamis. Protection against earthquakes. The buildings should be designed so that they can withstand major tremors. Consult qualified architects and structural engineers for making quake-proof buildings. The use of mud or timber is better than the heavy construction materials for the making the buildings in earthquake-prone areas, that is seismic zone areas. Cupboards and shelves should be fixed to the walls so that they do not fall on someone during an earthquake. People should be careful where you hang clocks, photo frames, water heaters, etc., so that during an earthquake they do not fall on the people. What protection can you give against earthquakes? At home. During earthquake, we should hide under a table. If you are on the bed, Then keep a pillow over your head and do not move out of the bed. We should stay away from tall and heavy objects that may fall on you due to the tremors. If you are outdoors, in an open area, we should try to move away from the buildings and trees and overhead power lines and other structures. If you are in a car or a bus, do not come out. Ask the driver to drive slowly to a clear spot. Do not come out till the tremors stop. Let us have a chapter recap. There are two kinds of charges, namely positive and the negative. The electrical charges produced by rubbing are called static charges. When charges move, they constitute an electric current. An electroscope may be used to detect whether a body is charged or not. The process of transfer of charge from a charged object to the earth is called earthing. The process of, the process of electric discharge between the clouds and the earth or between different clouds is known as lightning. An earthquake is a sudden shaking or trembling of the earth. It is caused by the disturbance deep inside the earth's crust. This ends the chapter.